Our first example of figuring out equilibrium was in a very simplified world where we only had consumption and investment, and consumption and investments were constants. Now let's make it a little more realistic, where we're looking at consumption spending or consumer spending and income. We're going to look at a more realistic description of how consumption happens. Here we have a consumption function, which is the relationship between consumption spending and the level of income. And what we're going to say is total consumption is made up of two parts. What we call autonomous consumption, or the part of consumption that doesn't depend on income, and income-sensitive consumption, which rises when income goes up and falls when income goes down. Now the amount that consumption goes up and down depends on what's called the marginal propensity to consume. So in our equation here, the marginal propensity to consume is B. It's the change in consumption for a change in income. So if marginal propensity to consume is 0.9, that says if your income goes up by 100, consumption will go up by 90. So our overall consumption function looks like this. And we can graph our consumption function where total consumption is some function of income or output, and it's going to be upward sloping with a vertical intercept of autonomous consumption, or CA, and we can see that the slope of the consumption function is equal to B, the marginal propensity to consume. If you were to get one more dollar of income, consumption would go up by B times that dollar. So, as your marginal propensity to consume increases, we would see the consumption function getting steeper. If the marginal propensity to consume decreases, this would get flatter. These would be changes in the marginal propensity to consume. That's what we're showing over here on the right-hand side. This is an increase in the marginal propensity to consume. The left-hand side shows an increase in autonomous consumption. So this is a shift of the curve, or this is a pivot of the curve. So we want to get comfortable with what the consumption function shows us and how changes in the consumption function change the graph.